And that was this song by Meghan Morrison, our guest this evening on Radio Nation. My name is Andrew Phillips, and I'm joined live in studio to my left by Nick Pescod and to my right by Meghan Morrison.
There's another song.
Hey, I forgot to turn off the lead. Yay. Andrew knows what he's doing. This is what happens when I sit in the middle chair.
Yay.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's good, that's good. So for people that, obviously you've got a bunch of your fans listening in, as we can see over Twitter, but for people that have never heard of Meghan Morrison before, who are you?
Oh, you want me to tell you who I am?
That'd be ideal.
That'd be good. You are, but he might not have
We could just Wikipedia it. Yeah.
Is this like an existential kind of question, or just who I think I am?
Who you think you are.
Yeah. Don't tell us who you might be.
Yeah.
Well...
What do you perceive yourself to be? No, let's not get into that.
In short, I am an independent artist from the east coast of Canada, based in Toronto now. I run a webcast, which is fun times, and I know some of our webcast viewers are listening in right now. So, and yeah, that's in short who I am. Cool. Independent artist and webcaster / giggle pants.
Fair enough. And I guess for people that have never heard your music before, how would you describe? Well, we just had this conversation off the air, but how would you describe your music and what it sounds like?
It has been evolving, which I think is a good thing. I come from more of a pop rock background, but where I am right now is more like progressive leaning rock, but it's moving towards more of almost like a Celtic soul rock kind of thing.
Celtic soul
now.
rock, I
yeah,
like that.
The next album's going to have a lot more soul in it. It's been fun experimenting with different songs and seeing what comes out, and a lot of it's very unexpected.
Now I want to stick with that a little bit, just because it's really, like I said, I've never heard that before. But what does that mean, Celtic soul? Describe that for a little bit for me. I'm intrigued.
Sure. Well, it's interesting. It kind of came full circle when I was writing the current album.
Okay.
I had just finished reading a book called Anam Cara, which is Gaelic for soul friend, and it really inspired me, and I wanted to somehow take the inspiration from that book and that philosophy and turn it into music, and that's what I was sort of trying to do with Lark We Are All Born Naked, which is the current album. But I never really got the soul part out there, not in the sense of like soul music, but that I wasn't trying to, and it's only recently that these soul-sounding songs are coming through, but I have this kind of like East Coast or Celtic lilting quality to my vocals, which make it more Celtic feeling, and with the violins and stuff, you know, in that sense, yeah, but still founded in rock, Celtic soul rock.
Celtic soul rock, I like it. So let's rewind a little bit and take me back to the beginning.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay, not that beginning, not all the way back there. Let's fast forward a few million years. Tell me about how you first got involved with music.
That's really hard to say. Earliest memory would be my mother singing to me at night. She used to sing to us every single night.
Okay.
Before we went to bed, from what I can remember.
Fair enough.
You know, I was pretty young. And, yeah, I mean,
But like, which did you do first?
playing music.
Okay. So when did you start playing?
I think it was probably 8. I took, you know, piano lessons for...
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I went to Europe.
Sweet.
And I started thinking, oh, there's songs. I should write these down. So I wrote them down, but I never shared them with anyone. Nobody had any idea I was writing songs. And I didn't sing. You know, I sang in church choir when I was younger, but then, you know, stopped going to church a long time ago. And so yeah, I was never really singing or anything until 4th year university. I started deciding maybe some of these songs should become public.
Cool.
And that's when I started taking voice lessons. Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, where were you? Maybe if I could talk, that'd be better. Where in Europe were you going? Like, where were you traveling to?
Long story short, I was intending to study physiotherapy in the Netherlands.
Okay.
So I was there for 3 months learning Dutch.
Cool.
And then I found out the financing the school told me I would be receiving, I wasn't actually eligible for.
Oh.
So I went backpacking, especially in the mountains in Switzerland. That's where a lot of the songs were coming to me.
Okay.
And just through Europe. And had a little journal and was writing lots of things until probably years later that anyone ever heard them. But they were there. They were in my head and in the book, you know.
Okay. I got kind of a weird question then. This may be the difficult for you. You say, what was it that was about being in the mountains in Switzerland that was helping you? Oh, hey, this is a song. I should write this down. Like, what was it about where you were that was triggering? Oh, this is a song.
Well, at the time, I wouldn't have been able to really answer that. I probably would have just said, I don't know. I'm just hearing it in my head. But
Fair enough.
After working with a number of different songwriters now, and last summer in particular, I got to do a workshop with Ron Hines, who's a famous Canadian songwriter who's been around for decades. And
Right, okay.
he recommends writing at 4 a.m. in the morning because that's when it's the quietest. And the reason for writing when it's quietest is because you can hear better. So my take on the mountains would be, we were out in the middle of absolutely nowhere mountain land. And there was nothing but the sound of mountains, if that makes sense, right?
Fair enough.
It was so quiet that
Okay.
you hear, everything's clearer, right? Yeah. And if you think of yourself as a musician as being sort of a medium for songs as opposed to a writer of songs, then they're able to come through you quicker with more clarity
Okay.
in quiet places. Yes.
Fair enough. Now, is that something that you work with now as you're writing? Is just wait until really early in the morning, or is that stuck with you?
No, I mean, I haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
I just kind of go when things hit me or when I want to work on things. But
Okay.
I will oftentimes try and put myself in a quiet space or in a moving space. I find motion helps a lot too. Being in motion, whether it's walking or taking the TTC, which is noisy, but it's motion. And yeah,
Cool.
written a lot on trains and buses and things.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break, play a couple of songs by you, a couple songs by other people, and when we get back, we're going to talk about Canadian Music Week, what all that meant, and then we'll just take it from there.
Cool.
So where can people find you on Twitter to tweet the crap out of this episode?
They can tweet me at Megs Morrison, MEGSMORRISON.
Okay.
And do they tweet questions to us at all?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a great idea.
Cool.
That's been known to happen from time to time, but absolutely, if you have questions for Meghan Morrison, you can tweet either her at her Twitter handle, which you just mentioned, or us at the show at radio_nation. Probably better if you tweeted us there, because then we'll see it, and then we'll be able to ask the questions.
And I'm going to be distracted, so I might not see it.
Absolutely.
Nick will.
Yep, no, absolutely. Nick is on it.
I am on Twitter. I've been tweeting quotes from you all the stuff.
Yes, he has, actually.
So it doesn't look like I'm not doing anything.
I know. I'll look over from time to time and be like, what the hell are you doing? And I'll look back and go, oh, okay, he's on Twitter. Got it.
There you go.
Excellent.
I'm being productive.
I appreciate it. So we're going to play The Weather Girl off of your album Lark,
Yay.
which is also known as We Are Born Naked.
We are all born naked.
All Born Naked. Oh, there's an all in there.
It's hiding behind the lark.
I wasn't.
See, that's what it is. Okay.
I was not born naked.
No?
Fully clothed.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
With
not
shoes.
That's not a
Your
visual
poor
I need.
mother.
That's what it is.
That's a story for a whole different day.
Yeah, it sure is.
After the show.
So this is The Weather Girl. You're listening. But meanwhile, we're back here live in studio with Meghan Morrison of the band Meghan Morrison.
The popular band, Meghan Morrison.
Oh, thank you. Popular in this room, anyway.
Awesome.
Popular on Twitter.
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you? Just explode the website, why don't you? Trending worldwide.
Fail whale.
Fail. Yep. Too bad you don't get that on the iPad. Or on,
You
like-
don't get that on an iPad?
No, you don't get it on the mobile app. You never get to see the fail whale.
Oh.
It's even more of a fail.
I should make some fail whale buttons. That'd be fun.
That'd be great. I was telling you need stickers so I can cover them
Yeah.
with the thing.
Now I'm gonna search and see if somebody actually made an account called the fail whale. I'm sure it's out there.
I think there is one, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
I'm
I
gonna
think I've
follow
seen it.
Well, Nick does practically nothing at all. We're going to get back to the semi-serious part of the interview. I'm totally just making fun of you, Nick. It's no big deal, buddy. I still love
There's
you.
about quite a few fail whale accounts.
Before the break, we were talking about you're talking about how you write, and you went skiing in the Swiss Alps.
I didn't
and
go skiing.
You met Beethoven, and it was really cool.
What was that like?
Beethoven
I
rocks.
hear he's doing really healthy.
Yeah. I was talking about the St. Bernard. Right? Do you guys think I meant like the musician?
Oh, yeah. He's still a little hard of hearing, but
Yeah. I want to talk to you a little bit about Canadian Music Week, which
okay.
was 4
March.
months ago now. It was a good time. It was, for those of you who don't know, it was a music festival in the last week of March. I was able to cover pretty well as much of it as I could for what one man can do on their own. And I ended up, I think it was the Thursday.
Yep.
The Thursday that you were playing at Velvet Underground.
Indeed.
Talk to me a little bit about that show.
Well, it was our first CMW showcase, so it was exciting because we were invited, and we had done our CD release there. So I guess the bar was happy with our release party and wanted to have us back for the festival, so we got invited through them and the promoter there.
Okay.
So yeah, it was an honor to be chosen, and we had a great turnout. A bunch of really supportive friends, family, fans came out, and even my dad was there.
Cool.
He lives in Nova Scotia, but he was up, so
Oh, that's
he
not
came
bad at
out.
all.
Yeah, and it was a good time. We premiered some new songs.
Okay.
It was just nerve-wracking at the same time.
Fair Now, was that your only show during CMW?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Talk to me a little bit about, I can't for the life of me, we're talking about it off the air, but I can't for the life of me remember what the song was, but you were telling me that it's cursed, haunted, something along those lines.
That's Runaway.
Runaway. Yeah. Well, first let's talk about that song. What's it about?
Well, it was a Christmas present
Okay.
for a guy I had been dating at the time.
And that was your message to him, you need to run away?
No! Have you listened to the song?
I only ever heard it the one time live.
You don't have the first album.
I do not.
Yeah, I need to send that to you. No, it's about okay. The premise of the story.
Okay.
Boy suggests, let's run away. Girl decides, no, silly, I can't do that. And then they both go their separate ways because they live in different continents. And then she realizes, I should have said yes, but I didn't. So this is me saying, let's run away. I'll do it this time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and for a long time that song was great. It was a fan favorite, and I played it all the time, and then for some reason I just couldn't play it halfway through, and I completely blanked on it, so I turned it into a bit of a joke, and claimed that it was cursed and haunted.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what do you mean you would blank? Is that you would forget what part of the song you were in, or you would just not be able to get your hands from one end of the keyboard to the other, or what happens?
My brain would just totally freeze. Couldn't remember the song at all.
Really?
Yeah, wouldn't know where to pick up. And part of that's my own fault for not learning theory very well. I'm learning a little bit now.
Okay.
But, I've never really studied my songs to know how they're actually written. I just play them based on muscle memory.
Okay, fair enough.
So my muscle memory shuts down, and I'm like, oh no, I don't even know where to pick this up from.
Oh, God.
But I'm working on that.
So, and then, well, obviously I've seen what happened, but for the benefit of people that haven't seen you play Runaway live, what happens?
Well, most of the time. Sometimes. I got through it once in Stratford
Okay.
this year.
Cool.
I generally don't play it at shows, but I thought CMW would be a good place to conquer it kind of thing, right?
Fair enough.
And generally what will happen is I'll tell the audience ahead of time that if I make it through, they have to clap extra loud because it's cursed. And at some point, I will generally forget what I'm doing and have to move on, or I go back a step, or I find a way to make it work. And it's very rare that I've had to just quit the song altogether. I usually figure something out.
Okay.
I believe I made it through eventually at CMW. Yeah.
No, it was good. Again, like I say, for the tell you, like I was like, oh, okay, she made it through, groovy.
Yeah.
But hey. Talk to me a little bit about...
let's not talk about my failures too much, okay?
I'm off it. I'll move on if you're willing to move on. I got no
I'm
problem
good.
with that. Talk to me a little bit about right after you're done playing and you're getting off the stage and you're setting up all you're packing up all your stuff. What was that like? That Wow, I just played Canadian Music Week. Talk to me a little bit about what was going through your head right there.
I didn't really have a lot of time to think about it because I couldn't even get off stage. People were coming up to me, wanting to give me hugs and stuff, and I feel bad for the band because they were all unloading stuff from the stage, and I was just standing there getting hugs. No, it was great. It was, a big relief. It was the first time I was nervous for a show in a long time.
Okay.
And so I was just really excited and happy, and yeah, even the bar manager came over and he was all smiles, so yeah, all around I was happy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's good. So talk to me a little bit about, it's been 4 months now, what have you been up to?
Well, I have been working on new songs.
Okay.
Which I sort of alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
I attended Song Studio last week, which is a week-long songwriting immersion program here in Toronto.
Cool.
People from all over the world come to it, including the faculty members, who are all world-class songwriters.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so workshopping a lot of new songs there, meeting a lot of new people, including Candace Sands, who has been on your show.
Yeah, I was back in November.
Yeah. And doing a lot more co-writing, which is cool for me because I generally write my own, on my own. Not my own, but on my own. Yeah, more writing and webcasting. I do have a webcast that happens once a month. Okay. And I know there are some webcast viewers listening now, so hello to you too, so we'll get to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And currently redoing websites and stuff, all that fun business, planning a tour.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this webcast that you mentioned a few times now. When did you start doing that?
It's been 2.5 years.
Wow. Okay.
Almost 2.5. Like 2.25 at this point.
Cool.
It started in April, and we've had our 2-year anniversary, so I guess we're 2.25. Yeah, we used to be weekly. We've changed to monthly just because it's a lot of work, and I need more time to work on my music. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it's better this way because now it's like once a month. Everyone looks forward to this big party, and more people show up. And there's a chat room where people can interact with the guests, and it's a video webcast, so it streams and musicians to my house, and we all jam out at the end. It's a lot of fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
And what motivated you to get started with that?
Insanity, probably. No, actually, it was the first Canadian Music Week I went to, and they have a great conference, the best in Canada that I'm aware of, where I attended a few sessions, and I heard about people like Matthew Ebel who were doing these webcasts and playing their music, and I thought, oh, I should do that. But I decided, I'd invite some other people over and accomplish something, not just for myself, but for them. And the main thing being, because I'm from the East Coast, not a lot of my friends and family get to see me play very often. Right, okay. So in this sense, they can tune in anywhere and see a show, right? And it's free. And so in that way, I was able to help other people who aren't from Toronto do the same thing. So like people who are originally from Brazil and France, they've been on the show and have been able to get their friends to tune in, and they get to watch them play. Yeah. Right
on. And when, what's the website for that, first off?
It's on my website. Okay. So yeah, MeghanMorrison.com.
Okay,
Megan enough. With an H. That's important because there's 2 of us out there. One without and one with an H.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the direct link for the webcast is MeghanMorrisonMusic.com/webcast, WEBCAST. That'll take you directly there. Otherwise, you can just go to my homepage and click the webcast link.
Cool.
Yeah.
And when does that run? Usually. I know it's once a month.
It's usually like the last Tuesday of the month, but there will be a schedule on the page. I think August 21st.
So
is the next one.
Technically, we're taking your time for doing the webcast.
Sort of. I had it arranged. We did it last week. Because I had Song Studio last week. We did the week before. Oh. There were 5 Tuesdays in July.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I did them closer to the beginning of the month this time.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll look forward to that on August 21st. Make sure to.
Yeah, the Micronite filters are coming on.
Sweet.
You'd probably like them. They've got this really cool little guitar type thing. It's a homemade
guitar.
It's like a box. Yeah, it's cool.
Fair enough. But only if it's not on the same time as Radio Nation, because then we might have a little bit of an issue.
Well, maybe we can like co-host or something.
Absolutely. I don't know.
I don't know how we do that.
Why not just do the webcast from here?
Let's trade places for a day.
Do it.
Host your webcast, you can host our show.
Absolutely.
That would be funny. I've had podcasters host my webcast before. It's pretty funny.
Nice. Okay, well, we're going to take another quick music break, and then we're going to come back and talk about a bunch more fun stuff.
And we'll answer the questions you had. I promise, Poi Poi.
I promise. We got it. Don't worry.
We know what we're doing here.
Not really, but hey.
We just pretend to.
Yep.
Well, in terms of learning theory, then what's the most challenging part about learning theory for you?
Well, I often try to learn it when I'm not near an instrument, so I'll take the book with me on the subway and stuff, and it's not very practical for an instrument when you're trying to learn the theory. You know, you can read it, but to not actually put it into practice right away slows the process down.
And why is that? I guess just from maybe from a perspective of someone who doesn't really know music that well. Like,
because then later you have to go and apply it, and you haven't done it before, but you understand the concept. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just kind of slow with it. But yeah, there's so many different aspects, you know, harmonies and prosody is another part of it all, and different scales. There's so many different scales, and you have to know how many sharps and flats there are in all of them in order to know what
snake
key
scales
you're in.
and like gator scales.
Yeah,
and like
snake scales and fish scales, and you know,
yeah. That's
dragon scales.
Dragon scales. I'd like to learn dragon scales. That'd be cool. That's a life skill right there. Learning how to play with dragon scales.
what is
Would it be like playing on a steel drum, you think? Like drumming on the side of a dragon?
Yep, and little lightning sparks would come off every
Yes!
time you hit them.
All right.
Yeah.
We have to find a dragon now. I'm inspired. Massive thunder drums and drumming on
Dragon
dragons.
scales.
what's been your biggest challenge as an artist? Just
As
in
an
general.
artist?
Mhm.
You mean like aside from
Aside from like learning theory or whatever, like what's been your biggest challenge? What's been your biggest challenge that you've overcome?
well, there are a couple. There's some that are ongoing, and that's, I think part of it's, you know, really knowing who you are and being able to communicate that to other people, because you're constantly changing, right? And ideally, as an artist, you continue to grow, but you're always expected to silo yourself, right? Like, what genre do you fit into? And tell me only one. And I'm like, I can't tell you just one because I don't know what one I fit into. And so that's kind of an ongoing challenge. But I think the biggest one was really just going for it. In the sense that, like, I come from a background in academia. I was studying to be a professor in health sciences. And after my master's, you know, came to Toronto under the guise of looking for a job and decided I wanted to do music instead. So, you know, actually just deciding it was to forget about all the time I spent planning for a different life and to just move forward with what I actually wanted to do. And, you know, part of that is proving to your friends and family, mainly family, because they're the ones who are always the most concerned about you, that, yeah, you're really doing this and you're going to be okay. Because, you know, parents, they worry, right? Like, well, when are you going to get a real job? Because they want you to be secure and safe and have food on the table. And, you know, sometimes you do have to go to the food bank when you're getting started out and you don't want to have a full-time job so you can spend the time you need to learn what you need to learn for your new industry, right? The new business you're pursuing. And that's what it is, right? Like, unless you've got a label backing you for everything, you are operating your own business, and that's an education in itself. Yeah.
I guess then you just alluded to, you know, like sort of going to the food bank and really sort of struggling there. What brought you to Toronto in the first place?
A gut feeling.
Have you ever thought about leaving? Have you had moments where you're like, I shouldn't have come here. I should have maybe stayed back in Nova Scotia? Or
No, I've been a bit of a nomad since high school. Like, after high school, I haven't stayed in the same place for more than 2 years. Even within Toronto, I've moved technically outside of Toronto proper. I'm still on the TTC route, but I'm outside of Toronto proper. I was there for 2 years, and now I'm here for like a year and a half. It just seems to be always 2 years, 2-year increments that I live in places. St. Catharines, Hamilton, Maine. between Nova Scotia and Europe for a chunk of time, and I definitely see myself moving again. I want to see the whole world, so it would be hard for me to do that if I'm not on the go.
My final question for you tonight is, where is the next step for Meghan Morrison?
Were you gonna say Megason? Because people do that all the time.
No. I was gonna say Megan, but little slip up there. But what is the next step for you in terms of where your music is headed, and I guess what can we look forward to hearing from you next?
Bull Rock.
Yeah. Show wise.
Well, I will be performing in the Wonder Woman showcase at Celebration Square in Mississauga on August 8th. That's
cool.
put together by Arlene Pakulin. If she hasn't been on your show, she should be. Yeah. Really? Awesome. Intune will be covering that show. That's good. That's great. I am going to be collaborating with a gentleman named Stevno Hugo of the UGO crew. He's a hip-hop artist, and I'm going to be doing a couple feature vocal things with him this fall. So that should be interesting. And right now I'm really keen to book this cross-Canada/America tour. And so I've got some of the wheels in motion for that to happen next spring.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, with that note, we're going to go on to what is called the lightning round.
Oh, I thought we were already there.
No, that's not it at all. This is sort of like the Twitter questions gone array.
Okay.
So now we're into the real. This is where we ask you all kinds of really weird.
Are we going to do a
questions.
competition one, or are we just going to throw it in?
Yeah, let's do a competition. It's the spirit of the Olympics.
All right, fine. In spirit of the Olympics, I will participate along with Meghan Morrison, where Andrew will ask a bunch of really random questions and sometimes probably inappropriate questions.
I wouldn't ask any inappropriate questions.
To understand the betterness of Nicholas Pescod and Meghan Morrison.
Betterness, because that's a word. I like it.
Sure, it is now.
All right, so we're going to play the first one to...
Uh-oh.
What do you want to do?
Here we
First
go.
6?
Sure.
First one to 7?
First one to 7.
Oh, I see. It's a game.
Yeah, it's a game. Basically what it is the game, and whoever can answer the questions that Andrew asks, the first in the fastest amount of time and the most accurate response in terms of, like, you can't just, like, say jumbled stuff.
Yeah.
So it can't be like, do you like bacon? Blah! You can't.
It has to be coherent.
Yeah, it has to be a coherent and
And
responsive
whoever
answer.
says it the fastest wins.
Gets the point.
Yeah, gets the point.
Cool.
So one-word answers are probably the most tactical.
Yep. And most of them
Tactful.
can be answered with one word. Mm-hmm. That's the point. So if you're ready, I'm ready.
Preferably not yes or no, but we'll see.
You guys better not have rigged this.
Oh, it's already rigged like that other competition.
The winner wins my respect.
Okay.
You have the
Winner gets a date with a janitor across outside of the studio.
You have the benefit, Meg, and that I've worked with Nick for 2 years now, and he still hasn't earned my respect. He's won the competition a couple of times, still hasn't won my respect, so you'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll do just fine.
I may leave here losing, but I may still have your respect.
Yeah, you can also win a date with a janitor. He's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah, he's got a big broom.
So the first question is,
Awkward.
where are the 2012 Olympics taking place?
London. Crap, he was fastest.
I think that was Nick.
Sorry, I was distracted by the janitor.
His big broom? That's a little awkward.
How many medals does Canada have so far?
4.
3? There's 3 today. So
There's 4.
Oh, 4?
3 today? So 4 in total.
Crap. I wasn't even paying attention today, so
I win.
I feel good about myself.
2-0. What was the name of your first pet?
Bunky.
My first pet.
Oh, blow them.
Like, how does that? Does you mean the one my parents got before I was born, or you know? That's a trick question.
Just say a name.
Was that even the real answer?
Yeah, it was. We had a cat named Bunky.
Bunky. That's a great pet name.
Yeah, it is a good pet. I forget how the name came about, but it's a good name. I'm waiting.
Okay. You each are sitting across from each other. What color is the other person's shirt?
Red.
Black.
You inhaled a little too deeply for that one.
That was a good question, though.
That was all right. That was all right. I didn't
Nice
get that one on the fly. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Yellow.
We'll get that one to Meg.
Lindsay says yes. Lindsay is the silent
Where is
tiger
the show
sign.
broadcast from?
Toronto, Ontario.
Centennial College.
That's partly.
I'm more
She
specific.
was more specific.
Oh, fine.
Da da da.
Get off the show. Get out!
So we are tied at 3.
Shootout.
Decisive moment.
What's your favorite sport?
Hockey.
I don't have a favorite anymore.
Sorry, I felt like that one was rigged. I apologize.
Do you like bacon?
What's your favorite
We're waiting here.
pizza topping?
Spaghetti?
Wait,
She
hold on a
said
second.
spaghetti.
Hold on a second. Spaghetti?
You just said, what do you eat? What does the food bank give you?
What?
Is that what does the food bank hand? What happened?
Did they just Frankenstein stuff together and be like, okay, spaghetti pizza this week. Eat up.
We got lots of it, so here you go.
Haven't you ever heard of like falafel pizza?
No.
It's kind of like that, but spaghetti.
What did you eat over in Europe?
Holy crap.
Was that a Dutch thing?
If you could travel to any one place in the world that isn't Aruba, where would you go?
Aruba.
Tahiti?
You said Aruba. I said that isn't Aruba.
I know.
I prefer Thailand, though.
Tied
I
at 4.
Oh, I'm crying. This is
Oh, and I'm out of questions. This is really good.
If you could have a pet, what pet would it be?
Pig.
A pet pig.
I want a pet pig.
Why do you want a pet pig?
They're so cute.
But what happens when they get all big and fat
They're
and
still
roll around?
so cute. They're easier to.
And crush you, because that'll be cute.
So you would cuddle a massive hog.
Oh, wouldn't you? You do it with a
No.
dog.
No, I
Yeah,
Cuddle a
but
dog. Why would you cuddle
I would have a
pig?
dog that could weigh like 600 pounds and can kill me in my sleep.
yeah, that's it. That's just it.
Well, you're assuming that I would keep the pig in my bed, which is probably not the case.
The pig wouldn't be able to move out of your bed.
You would get there and just be stuck.
Yeah.
No, man, this is cozy. To hell with that. You bring me breakfast.
I'm just gonna sit here for the rest of my natural life. Yeah.
Well, that got sidetracked in a hurry. So you're on death row, and you're about to be executed, but you have to have your last meal first. What's in it?
Spaghetti?
Spaghetti pizza or just spaghetti?
Wasn't even gonna say anything there.
Spaghetti just rolls off the tongue so quickly. It's the perfect answer, really, for any of these questions.
I suppose it is.
Sure.
What is your dream car?
Jaguar.
I'm not a car person. I don't even have one now.
I'm just a person. I'm not a car person either.
What is your dream mode of TTC transportation?
Oh, yeah.
Hovercraft.
Young University Subway, man. Woo, Downstream Station.
Woo! All the way to York U.
Is that line even open yet? Have they finished that?
2015.
My God, they've been doing that forever. Forever.
How about hovercraft? Did you say hovercraft?
I did say
you
hovercraft.
did say hovercraft.
I
Yeah, that's
subconsciously
cool.
got into my
Ferry. TTC ferry service. Would break down. Today a ferry sank on the Gardner.
I got a good one.
Oh, no.
Okay, you got to pick one. Hovercrafts or jetpacks?
Jetpacks.
Hovercraft.
Why?
Because they're
It's
cool.
It hovers?
You wouldn't
Because jetpacks hover too.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to have
well,
jetpack.
You know why? Because of Pilot Wings from Nintendo 64. That was a
Okay,
pretty
here's
cool
why.
game.
You can fit more people on hovercraft. It's a party.
But you can go to more parties with a jetpack.
You can go to more parties on a hovercraft, and you can take the party with you.
Oh man, fine, you win.
That's like, would you rather have a party barge or a sea-doo? You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I
Would
think
you rather have a ship with people on it or a Sea-Doo?
I think I'd rather have the party barge. It can't just be a ship with people on it. It has to be a party barge.
Yeah. There you go.
I've totally lost score, but this is kind of fun just playing the questions.
Yeah, this is why the speed round takes 20 minutes.
Because we ask a lot of really dumb questions. What's your favorite Disney movie?
I was just about to ask that.
Disney movie.
Walt Disney did a bunch of
Is Toy Story a
animated.
Disney movie?
Yes,
Toy Story.
There you go.
Is Shrek a Disney movie?
it is.
I like Shrek too.
I
Is
love-
Shrek really? I
Wait,
thought
hold
it-
on. No, hold on.
They're like
No,
Pixar
that's
movies.
That's DreamWorks.
I don't
DreamWorks,
know.
yeah.
Pixar.
Cartoon
Honest-
movies
Good
are all
save- good
Disney
save,
to
Josh.
me. I like them though. I
an
love
ogre.
Shrek and Toy Story. Those are great.
Donkey.
I've never really been
Stop
into the older
singing.
ones.
I like Toy Story 2.
As well, or Toy Story 2?
I liked as
Both.
well. As
Okay.
well. I never saw Toy Story 2.
Oh,
I haven't seen Toy Story 3. I hear it's
that
really
was
sad.
really good. It was intense. I saw it in 3D.
Well, don't ruin it.
It was intense.
Okay, what
Yeah,
happens?
I cried.
Did you?
Absolutely cried.
That's
yeah.
okay. I cried at the end of Star Wars. Not because it was sad, but because it was over. I was like, oh man, I'm at the end of the 6th one. This is terrible.
Wow. All right. What do you like to cook?
Do you like to cook?
I'm not going to say spaghetti because that's too easy. I do eat a lot of spaghetti, though.
I
It's
love
mainly
spaghetti.
a function of finances.
Yeah. Spaghetti and hot water doesn't take much.
It
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
at
Yep.
all. You know, some tomato paste mixed with some water, you're good.
Yeah, honestly.
I do like to cook. I'm a vegetarian, so I like to cook non-meat foods.
Well, I'd assume so.
I think spaghetti falls in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Well, you
No
just
meat.
don't have meatballs.
Okay, I got a really important speed round question for you. Is the piano playing out in the hallway annoying you as much as it annoys me?
No, actually, I found it quite entertaining.
Oh,
Can
It's like
we close
elevator
the
music.
door?
it doesn't. It comes through the window.
Can you imagine? This is how we've had class with this piano
Imagine
playing.
all the people.
So, all right. What other questions are there before we?
I
They're
feel
all in
like-
my head, dude.
The show has just become so sophisticated with the piano in the background, you know?
I
Like, let's all have a cup of tea.
I got a really funny story about the piano. Is that I had this one guy on in like February? Yeah, February. And it's like the guy was listening to the show because every time I would ask a question and it'd be silent, and then the guy would start to answer his question, and the piano would start up, and it'd be nice, soft melody in the background while this guy was answering his question, and then he would stop right as the guy stopped, and I'd ask another question, and then the piano would pick back up
Very
again
synchronistic.
for the
Was he
entire
listening?
interview.
Was he listening? To
I
this
I
show?
don't know. I can't really see from my
He's
angle,
gone
but
now.
like, yeah, no, I'm telling you, like just strumming along, the guy would stop talking and then pick back up again.
Megan, who's one person you'd like to perform with?
Oh, well, there's lots.
Pick one.
One to perform with.
Or band, not just person.
Well, you guys were suggesting Rush earlier this evening.
That was Andrew.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. That'd be fun. More.
You should perform with Candace Sand.
Oh, you mean locally? Yes.
No, you can do it. You can pick anybody. I just said.
We are going to be arranging a gig together.
Really?
Probably co-writing together as well, actually. Candace. If we're talking like big name acts.
You can pick anybody in the whole world.
Yeah.
I was just suggesting.
I'd love to play with like Arcade Florence and the Machine. You know, the really big, interesting sounding bands. You know, that have strange instruments like harps and things like that. I'd love it. Yeah.
And where in the world perform anywhere would it be?
Whoa. I want to perform everywhere in the world.
But you
so-
have to pick one place. You're about to die at midnight,
to
and you get to
die.
perform one
Are we
concert.
speaking hypothetically here, or are you going to reach across the table and kill Meg Morrison right here in the studio?
We're speaking hypothetically.
to die.
Oh,
Pick
no.
something.
I'm sorry, Point. No webcast next month.
Yeah, sorry, those are now done. It's now Radio Nation. Period.
Yep.
So that means,
Next job on the show. Come back next week.
yeah, we're gonna be doing lots of hip hop on the webcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, seriously, where and if you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I've never really thought about that. Probably somewhere outdoors that's unusual, like Stonehenge.
Skydiving.
Stonehenge would be
That's
the
an
best.
awesome answer.
Yes.
Like, would you perform inside the henge or
Absolutely.
Yeah. So people aren't
On
even
top
allowed
of- on top of it,
Stonehenge.
or in, like, in
inside
the
it.
I don't know if they'll let you on.
They
top
won't
of
even
it.
let you near it.
Yeah.
When I was there, that couldn't even get like within you got to a certain length, maybe about 20, 30 feet back, because they don't want people chipping rock off and stealing
Right.
it. So
Yeah,
they won't even let. But that'd be pretty cool.
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Live from Stonehenge.
Live from Stonehenge, and it's got to be on a full moon.
Why not?
Oh yeah.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe, otherwise known as Toronto, Ontario, Canada. You're listening to Radio Nation. My name is Andrew Phillips. I'm joined live in studio with Nick Pescod,
Hey,
Meg Morrison, and Josh Skinner from the original soundtrack in the back, but he's not really saying anything. So this is part of the show that I promised that I wouldn't tell you about until just now, so that you have no way at all to prepare for it whatsoever.
Okay.
But essentially, Nick and I are going to turn off our microphones, and you're going to have as much time as you want. You have, well, really, you could use the next 10 minutes if you really wanted to say as many thank yous or shout outs or have a politically fired up speech. Completely up to you, but
like
this
a
is your...
Grammy Awards.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Type
If it's
thing?
a thank you speech or if there's people you want to give shout outs to,
Oh,
this is your
jeez.
time. And the next voice you're going to hear is Meghan Morrison.
Well, that's the kind of thing I'd like. Kind of boring me just listing off, oh, thank you to this person and thank you to that person. Like, that's why they cut them off at the Grammys, right? But you're giving me 10 whole minutes to say thank you.
As much time as you need.
Oh, look, you just cut in. You lied. Now you can't say anything. Now, that being said, it may be boring, but gratitude is an important thing. And maybe I can just talk about gratitude for a little while. You can't hear their mics, but they are talking. We could turn this into a motivational talk, perhaps. No, that's just me being silly. But okay, if I'm given 10 minutes to thank people, then let's start with you guys here in the room. Thank you for bringing me on your show. It's been good times. I was actually crying during the lightning round, and that was fun.
Cutting in again.
Oh,
You're welcome.
look at that.
No big deal. Go for it. Come back anytime.
Thank you to Josh as well, who's taking some pictures here, so you'll probably see them up on Facebook. And, yeah, if I'm just kind of following the stream of consciousness, thank you to everyone who likes my Facebook page. You know, I'm trying to build that up a little bit. I know it seems just kind of like numbers and statistics, but those numbers actually help independent artists like I get into festivals, because promoters actually look at that stuff, even if it doesn't necessarily mean you're any good. So if you would like to be one of the people I'm thanking right now for liking my Facebook page, then to go to Facebook and find Meghan Morrison Music, and that's me. Meghan with an H, Morrison 2 R's 1 S. Moving on from there, I should probably thank the team of people that I work with, most importantly my brother Evan. He plays guitar. Thank you to him, Brother Bear. Stuart Everett, who is an occasional member now. He plays a kick-ass bass. Kelly Lefebvre on violin and backing vocals. She's amazing, and yeah, we don't see her enough. She's a busy lady because she's so talented, in high demand. So now I just need to make more money so I can hire her full time. Also, you know, other people who have been in the project but have moved on to other projects, such as Brad Gulka, who is my old faithful for a long time on drums, and he's got some exciting marriage plans happening this fall, so good luck to him and Amy. They've been very big supporters, and I have a lot of thanks to send to them. Also, Brendan Albert, who filled in on drums for her Pride show. Thank you, Brendan. And Allison Graham, who filled in on violin for that show as well. Colin Davis was in the project for a while and went on tour with us. Thank you to him on guitar. Oh, there's a number of other people that have played, but I probably can't mention all of them. But Terrell Jarvis, he's got a band called Trans Elders. He was part of the original group when I was getting started here in Toronto. Big Uber thanks to Adrian and Chad Schofield for letting me sleep on their couch when I first moved to Toronto so that I could figure out what I was doing. My parents, of course, you know, gotta thank them. They're the best. Yeah, I thank them for no longer asking me when I'm going to get a real job and for actually changing gears and taking big actions to help me actually move my music career forward. Super awesome thanks to Lizzie Violet. She helps me out a lot with some of the press and promo stuff. To every single artist who's ever come on my webcast. There's too many for me to mention now. And to people who've helped me with the webcast, whether it's been guest hosting, such as Iman Wayne, Arlene Speziali. They've all hosted my show when I've been away from time to time. And also Matt Popowich. He's a filmmaker. He helps me out on video, the camera sometimes. Yeah, all the great teachers out there. There's a lot of those too. Big ones being my thesis advisor, Philip Wilson at Brock University, who saw me through my academic adventure, but also taught me how to pursue my own psychological well-being, which actually ended up being me leaving academia. And he still supports me in that decision, and that's awesome because it's not great for academic advisors to lose their students to things outside of academia. It doesn't reflect good on them, but he's the best, and that's why everyone loves him. Also, his wife, Diane, she's awesome too, and a big supporter. Other teachers? Oh, geez. Every faculty member at Song Studio, big ups to Rick Emmett and Blair for putting on the workshop at all. It was such an inspiration. Ron Hines, his words changed my life as a songwriter last year, and everything has been just moving so much faster and farther forward than I could have imagined in the past year. It's very exciting. To everyone who watches the webcast, actually, like Poi Poi, for example, Amp Mods, who's out there. Carl Machad, who mastered the album and is an incredible friend, comes out to a ton of our shows. I should probably also single out Stuart Everett, not just for his bass playing, but for being my beau. Him's my biggest fan. He gets angry when I don't talk about him as my beau. I just get focused on me. Sorry, Stuart. Yeah, every other family member and friend, Gina, who is my sister from another mother, has been practically adopted by my family. She's the best. Love her to death. And her little guy, Corbin. Little C. Has it been 10 minutes? Like, I could go on and on and on.
I think you did a pretty good job there.
Yeah, like there's...
I think you did.
I know I'm forgetting tons of people because I'm on the spot. Yeah. Heather Hill, I should thank, actually. She introduced me to TOS Radio, which eventually got me here. Cool. Yeah, and she's been an amazing supporter as a songwriter, co-writer, friend, musician. She's hired me to make her merch. I make t-shirts and buttons when I'm not making music, so yeah. It's so many people to thank. Look what you've started.
I apologize. It's totally my fault.
We could have used that piano player for the background in this. Where's a piano player when you need one, really?
Who knows, eh? So where can people find you? Once again, where can people find you through social media?
The best place to go is MeghanMorrison.com,
okay.
And all the links for Twitter, Facebook, everything are on there. That's the home page. And a great way to stay connected is to actually sign up for my monthly letter that I send out.
Cool.
It's an interactive one.
Right.
And what happens is at the end of each newsletter, I put the first line of what's going to become a poem, and everybody writes back with the poem will be at the top of the next newsletter. And
awesome.
Yeah, sometimes they're
cool.
pretty abstract, and sometimes they come together and make perfect sense. It's crazy.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about it.